So I've been a part of some masterminds in the past. We've been a part of some really good ones, and I've seen some, not so great ones. And I would say this is definitely one of the best ones that I've seen so far. I've been, kind of welcomed with open arms into the group as if I'd have been there for all of the past summits, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's great. So I've made a ton of friends. So I would say the culture that I can already see in the group is really, really great. Very, very giving, open.
We got Joseph here coming in hot for the Contractor Coalition. What have you learned so far? What's been some of the things that you're like, wow, this has been kind of a game changer for me?
So there's tons of big picture things, but I would say there's a lot of little nuggets that you pull out of each session. So even some of the sessions that aren't necessarily pertinent to me and my business model, I'm pulling things out of pretty much every single session. Some of the big ones though are probably around AI and the marketing. I would say we're probably the two biggest, most impactful ones for us. Just how other people are using AI and how people are saving a lot of time with their employees and eliminating manual tasks and just leveraging their time, leveraging their team's time to be able to produce more and that kind of thing. So that's probably one of the biggest. I got a lot of notes on that whole section. And I like to think of myself as pretty forward thinking in the industry and trying to stay on top of the new tech, and I just felt like, man, I'm not even scratching the surface compared to some of these people. So I'm excited to pull from all their knowledge and implement it in my business. So.
Yeah, how big is your team back home?
We got about 20 people.
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
One of the questions that came up recently was, how do you share your vision, with your team?
Yeah.
And it's pretty common that the visionaries, the owners will come to these, get all excited to come home, and the team's like, oh great, Joseph's got 20 things for me to work on. How do you think bringing this information back to the team is going to be received in a way that they'll actually adopt?
Yeah, so short answer is carefully, because I have been to, I've been going to other mastermind events in the past. I've been to summits like this, and I have made the mistake of, hey, here's the 12 pages of notes. Here's all the things we're starting tomorrow. And everybody's running around with their hair on fire. They have no idea what's going on. It just makes for absolute chaos. So, I've already kind of booked it into my schedule after I get home of just having a day where I can really go through, mull over everything that I've learned, and then really just kind of take it and prioritize it in terms of, okay, what's the number one biggest pain point in my business right now? Let me go to that section of my notes and figure out what is the one thing we have to focus on. Maybe the two things or the three things that we can kind of focus on into this coming quarter to start, attacking. So I've made the mistake of just casting vision, because I can speak. I get excited about it.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of gets excited about it too. And then all of a sudden it just kind of hits them. They're like, oh crud, this is really scary. We have no idea what's going on. We're all over the place. And so, try to slow down, prioritize, and share what only needs to be shared, I guess.
You had mentioned that you've been to other masterminds and other sort of groups. How do you compare and contrast what you're seeing here over the 3-4 days that we're here in Omaha to other events that you've experienced?
Yeah, so I've been a part of some masterminds in the past. We've been a part of some really good ones, and I've seen some, not so great ones, and some ones where the culture's amazing and like family, and somewhere it's just, the culture's not really great. I would say this is definitely one of the best ones that I've seen so far. I really love the culture. Everybody's, very, very friendly. It's been very, I've been, kind of welcomed with open arms into the group as if I'd have been there for all of the past summits, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's great. So I've made a ton of friends, already. So I would say the culture that I can already see in the group is really, really great. Very, very giving, open. I'd say the caliber of the people are very high. There's some smaller people for sure as well. But I think that it's really nice being able to chat with somebody who's building a $20 million house and somebody who's also, on their tools with, maybe a couple of helpers, and they're trying to just get to that next level, and seeing the conversations and seeing how helpful people are, and, kind of no judgment, just, hey, let me help you. Let me tell you what I learned. And
I think that's been kind of a hallmark from the very beginning of just being your authentic self. To your point, we've got, sole proprietors to, companies of, 40, 50, and everything in between.
Right.
And I know sometimes people might be intimidated by oh man, I don't build this high caliber house, but I want to. And I love when their curiosity is strong enough that they're able to say, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
And speak a little bit to, what is it like sitting in the room in terms of interacting? Is it highly interactive? Are you just sitting there, passively listening, or what is the room vibe like when you're, receiving this information?
Yeah, I would say I think it's been fairly interactive, like pretty much the entire time. There's a lot of questions. I mean, in the middle of the presentations, it's not just somebody speaking at you the entire time. It's, they make a comment or they say something and then a hand goes up and, all right, what do you got? And then now we're going, they're going back and forth and really kind of solving their problem or their specific question on it. And so I've seen that the entire time. So that's really nice. I've got no reservations about, all right, don't know what they're talking about, or I want some deeper, or how does this apply to me? And I want to, shoot my hand up real quick, and I've got no reservations about that because everybody, it seems very interactive. So
yeah, in terms of marketing, how did you become aware of the Contractor Coalition Summit?
So I'm not on social media a ton, and so I actually didn't, no offense to anybody here, but like, my buddy told me about it, and he's like, oh, it's got Brad and it's all these things, and I'm like, I don't know who any of those guys are, and so he said, well, you got to go, because he knows my core values. One of my core values is striving for excellence in our company, and so we really try to make sure that we're doing a great job. He's like, dude, you're going to fit right in. Trust me. Everybody here is like striving to do better, trying to grow, and so he's the one who told me that I had to come. He said he was going to come with him, and then he bailed like last week.
Is this another builder?
It is, yeah.
Well, we'll have to bring him back.
Nate Spearing, yeah.
Oh,
Nate
okay, I know Nate.
Yeah. He had to go visit his grandmother who's turning 93 or something, I don't know. So,
okay.
Anyways, I'll give him a pass, but he said, dude, you got to go. It's still going to be great, and it's true. It's been really good. So now I am going to follow everybody on Instagram, and I finally figured out how to log in. So I'm going to go and follow people and do all that stuff.
It's funny you say that because I was active on Instagram, but I didn't know who Brad, Tyler, Nick, or Morgan even were. Yeah. And Morgan is in my same state of Minnesota, and it was my wife who said, I think you'd really enjoy this group. And so it looks like both of us listen to the people that care about us.
There we go. Yep.
Next to that, buddy. I was going to say, if you consider coming back to another coalition down the road, do you think you would bring people on your team with?
Yeah, for sure. There was a few people I was already thinking about before coming here, but I really wasn't 100% sure, so I kind of wanted to scope it out first. But there's definitely been some sessions that are really heavy into, whether it's pre-construction, I would have brought my pre-con manager, or, the sales and marketing piece for sure. So my wife runs the business with me, and unfortunately she couldn't make it because she had a prior commitment. But yeah, for sure. At least my integrator, maybe director of sales and marketing, and maybe my pre-con manager and purchasing manager, and I don't know. We got a few people that I've already gotten.
Well, start bringing them on. We'll see you in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. Okay, Sounds good.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
If you're interested in attending the Contractor Coalition in the future, please head to contractorcoalitionsummit.com or follow us on Instagram to find out more.